Donni-Oh, J-Mo. It's Yours Radio, live, 97.5.
It's Yours Radio, live 97.5, everything urban, Breakfast Club in the morning, Ryan Banks at night. Listen to this right here. Listen to this right here. I want y'all to listen to this right there. I want y'all to hear that. I want y'all to hear that right there. My goodness. Man, classic. Dope hip-hop right there. Of course, you know you get that each and every Sunday, 4 to 7, right here on It's Yours Radio, live 97.5, everything urban, Breakfast Club in the morning, Ryan Banks at night. But you know what's even better than that? We have the architect behind that sound right there. On the live line with us, we have Dizzy Scratch, also known as Sir Scratch from the legendary Main Source. What's good, brother?
My gosh, man. I like that intro, man. I'm going to have to use that. I'm good. I'm real good.
My man.
How you doing?
Everything's great, man. I can't complain, man. I can't complain at all.
How's the weather out there, brother?
Actually, it's not bad. You know, we had a lot of rain yesterday, and things cleared up. We right at like the 80s, low 80, 81, 82. So, yeah.
Same over here in Toronto, Canada. Yeah, we're getting a little warm over here. Yeah, no, it's all good in the game.
Yeah, indeed. So, again, man, we have a portion of our show, and we like to do it monthly. It's called the Legends Edition. And, of course, you're a part of that, and definitely the legend, not just in hip-hop, but just in music in general.
Appreciate that.
No doubt. So let's take it back real quick, because I think a lot of people, know you, particularly on our show, because we're real old school hip hop heavy, so they're very familiar with the Main Source. And of course, Large Professor gets a lot of the headlines, of course, but there were two other cats, two brothers that DJ, you know what I'm saying? K-Cut and Sir Scratch, And just talk about that real quick, because you're originally from Canada, correct?
Yeah, I was originally born and raised in Canada partially, and then my mom moved us up to into I think it was Jamaica, Queens in the early 70s, and we're going back like 75, And then for me and K-Cut, we didn't get our vibe into like the early 80s, like just call it 80s, when hip-hop like really got its birth off. I mean, it started a little bit earlier than that, but for us it was like Grandmaster Flash, Kool Herc, and all those guys really put the spark on it, and of course Run DMC, But it really started from that time period and moved on from there,
Yeah, dope. Speaking of Grandmaster Flash, today's is Melly Mel's birthday today, so shout to Melly Mel. Happy birthday.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hey, Melly Mel was happy birthday, bro.
Yeah, indeed. So just talk about that time period. I mean, y'all came up during the golden era of hip-hop when, there was a lot of originality, so many artists, groups trying to find their way, and people, carving out their own niche. And you definitely, Main Source definitely had a signature sound, even though nothing sound alike, but it's just a certain sound that Main Source had, though. Talk about that real quick.
So for us, it was just like you're saying, that originality, that vibe. And, we're young cats, K-Cut 16, same as Large Professor. I was the oldest. I was 18 at the time. And we're just feeling ourselves trying to think we can do music. But what really caught it for us is that, K-Cut and I have West Indian roots, Jamaican and West Indian and kind of stuff. And I was deep into R&B, K-Cut was deep into roots rock reggae, and then, of course, Large Professor was into the hip-hop. We were all into hip-hop, but we all had our signature kind of vibe. And I think that's what made us kind of unique out of any other group at that point in time. I had the R&B again, K-Cut had the reggae, and then the Large Professor. Then we put that together, and it really made our sound unique. And you can hear that in things like, Just Hanging Out, that has that little reggae, Sister Nancy vibe. In Peace, we got that little, horn section. It's just vibes, man. Just putting our elements and our upbringing sound into one.
Yeah. Dope. So how did you link up? How did y'all link up with Large Professor?
So I was at the end of high school. It's a longer story, but originally the group was supposed to be R&B.
Oh wow!
Believe it or not. Yeah. And when it didn't work out, from my point of view, the group didn't work out, and then K-Cut says, "Yo, why don't we try this hip hop stuff?" And I'm like, I'm being the old school guy. I'm like, hip hop? I don't know. I'm looking at it like, okay. K-Cut's like, "Yo, let's try this." And I'm like, okay, let's see how it's gonna go. And we tried a bunch of different MCs, and it didn't work out. And we had them audition and didn't work out. And then K-Cut met Large Professor at high school, at John Brown High School in Queens. And he said, yo, I know this cat. You know, his name is Professor Paul Juice at the time. Wow. And he came over, he interviewed, and I was like, oh, this guy's wearing glasses. How's that going to work? No hip-hop. That guy's got glasses. How's that going to work? Right. K-Cut was like, no, trust me, he's got the skills. And then, you know, Large Professor ripped his lyrics, and I was like, oh, okay. No kidding, no bull. I'm sitting there like, all right, maybe this could work. No, screw you got glasses. Let's do it. You know? And then he changed his name to Large Professor, and then it made more sense. Professor, you know, glasses, let's get it going. Mm-hmm. But all that aside, you know, it just worked out and we just clicked. You know, and I told my mother that, like, this is what we want to do. And she was like, and she did me. And she says, show me you can do it within a year, and then I'll try to see what we can do. So we showed her, you know, I was doing McDonald's jobs, all kind of crazy jobs, just trying to save up money. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, we're ready. We got it. You know, we're honed our skills in. She took us to a studio called 1212. And that's where we met Paul McCasty. And he just took a liking to us, you know, this kind of average white boy, you know. He had the soul in him, and he just showed us how to make beats on the SP12. And believe it or not, it kind of taken off from there. It's a lot longer than that, but that's where we really started getting our vibe and getting our foot in the door. You know,
So that you talking about was that Paul C?
Yeah,
you were speaking of.
Paul
Okay,
C.
Yeah, sure, indeed.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah, you know, I know a little history, baby. You know a little history.
Yeah.
But I've heard you before. You know, speak highly of your moms, and she was an integral part of you guys, particularly in the beginning. And of course, last week we celebrated Mother's Day. But to speak on the significance of your mom and how you got to where.
So my mom's name is Sandra McKenzie, and she's really like the fourth member of Main Source. I mean, she was the A&R, she was the president of the company, manager, made sure the money was right, and just was taking no nonsense. It was her babies, you know, and she kind of adopted Large Professor and just brought us into the fold. But I mean, she was doing business on her own in the company she worked for. So she had a little bit of understanding of it. And, you know, I was just lost. I was like, Mom, we need your help. And she's like, okay, single mom, no father. She just hooked it up. She went out every day taking demos to record companies, them saying no. And she basically said, okay, let's just press that parts up. I don't know how she figured this out, but she figured out how to press up the records, the better vinyl. She made consignment deals with different mom and pop stores back in the days when we used to have the mom and pop record stores, you know, before the big conglomerates came in. And she just made consignment deal with them and just like, hey, you sell a few records, you know, you get a cut, we get a cut. And then it got to the point where, you know, that was doing well. And she said, you know, let's do a video. And, you know, this is the early BET, early MTV kind of days. And $25,000, my mom did it, got the college money. We ain't going to college now. And she did $25,000 to do this video, you know. Uh-huh. And that's where really, you know, focused on BET. And when that video broke, that's when the labels really start to come in. Because now you did the work, now they want to come. So, and then the rest is history.
No doubt. No. So what song was that for, the video?
That was Watch Roger Do His Thing.
Okay, yeah, that was dope. That was dope. A little up-tempo joint, but it was dope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Eric B. was in it. Gru was in it. From Gangstar was in it. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because y'all were on Wild Pitch, right, at that time?
Yep. That's who came calling. You know, they called us up and said, hey, you know, we would like to do a signing deal with you guys. Mm-hmm. We were like, you know what? Nobody else is answering the call. Let's go.
No doubt. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah, I still got that vinyl, man. So, yeah.
So do I.
Yeah, word. That's dope.
I got it framed up, man, just to remind us of the humble days.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's Yours Radio, Live 97.5, Everything Urban, Breakfast Club in the morning, Ryan Banks at night. We do it each and every Sunday, 4 to 7 p.m. It's the Legends edition with 1/3 of the Main Source. Of course, he's doing his own thing now, Dizzy Scratch, a.k.a. Sir Scratch. Many of you may know him by it. Now, as we move into this right here is the joint. When I heard this live at the barbecue, still to this day, this is crazy, man. Talk about that record. Of course, that was like the introduction for most people to Nas. So talk about that record and how y'all got Nas on that joint.
So, see, a lot of people don't realize that's Nas' first record, period. I don't know everybody other stuff. Main Source broke him first. It was almost the same scenario like with Large Professor. You know, Large Professor came to us and says, yo, I got my homeboy from Queensbridge. Yo, he's dope. And same thing. Now we're all like sitting there like, but he's real young, bro. What kind of skills can he hit? Young little Nas, ain't Nas like you know him now, all confident and everything. It's Shy Nas at this point. Mm-hmm. And he just came in. He didn't even have the name Nas at the point. He just came in. He did his little lyrics, and we're all sitting there like, okay, cool. Let's see how this is going to go. Mm-hmm. So we were doing the last record on the Main Source album. It was Live with the BBQ, and it was just a concept we had. We didn't even know if that was going to work. Let's get the hottest boys we knew around our block to get on this joint. Again, from our perspective, it wasn't about like, let's break Nas, let's break Akinelli, with Joe Fredo. It wasn't nothing like that. It was like, let's get our homies on these tracks. Mm-hmm. These boys we like, and let's get them out there and see, how it goes. Yeah. It was the last record. We had nothing to lose. It was like, let's do it. It was a lot of this shit was by chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Nas did the lyric, and then we were like, yo, you went to hell for snuffing Jesus. I don't know if that's going to work,
no
bro.
Doubt.
That's some blasphemy stuff.
No doubt.
You're going to have everybody on that. But my mom says, like, yo, let's do it. Again, put a lot of praise to my mom. She says, let's do it. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about it. Just do you. Don't think about anybody, what they're doing. Just do you. And we're like, yo, all right, bet, let's do it. What can work's going to happen? I mean, probably nobody's going to hear this record. It's the last record on the track.
Wow.
No.
Wow. Well,
and you know what happened after that?
Yeah, and no doubt. And listen, 30 years later, 30 plus years later, we still banging it. Yep. We're gonna go into it right now. It's Yours Radio, live 97.5, everything urban. Breakfast Club in the morning, Ryan Banks tonight. We got Dizzy Scratch on the live line with us, representing, of course, for hip hop, for music in general. We're gonna talk about some of the things he's done outside of hip hop. Those you may not know, we're gonna name drop Dizzy. We're gonna name drop on him, baby. Let's get into this classic right here, live at the barbecue. It's Yours Radio, live 97.5, everything urban. Breakfast Club in the morning.
It's yours.
Would you say one more time, baby?
It's yours.
My man.
I'll leave the microphone split. Witness took me while I'm on some pretty dope shit. Verbal assassin, my architect pleases. When I was 12, I went to hell for stuffing Jesus. I took the rebel to America. Murderer, I'm causing hysteria. My troops roll up with a strange force. I was trapped in the gate and get out by the main source. Swimming in women like a lifeguard. Put on a bulletproof nigga, I strike hard. Kidnap the president's wife without a plan. And hanging niggas like the Ku Klux Klan. I know mics to the sound waves over. Hey yo, step into me, you'd rather step to Jehovah. Slamming them seas on cement. Cause verbally, I'm iller than an AIDS patient. I move swift and uplift your mind. Shoot to death when I riff and rhyme. Hey yo, rapping sniper. Hey yo, speaking real. Hey yo, force react like Steven Spielberg. Poetry attack, paragraph punch on. My brain is insane. I'm now to lunch, guard. Science is dropped. My raps are toxic. My voice box locks and excel. Hey yo, it's like that y'all. That's 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 y'all. Hey yo.
It's Yours Radio, live 97.5, everything urban. Breakfast Club in the morning, Ryan Banks at night. Classic main source right there. Of course, man, live from the barbecue. You said Nas was a young cat. How old was Nas on that joint?
Ooh, shoot. I was just probably turning just around 15 going on 16 at the time.
Wow.
If I remember, this is taking me back, but if I remember, I'm just listening to that order. I remember why we put Nas first. It's like we just wanted to get this out of the way. We didn't know if this was going to backflash on us. No, it worked out well.
Yeah, indeed. And then Akinelli as well, man. Akinelli, another cat, man, is just, that was his first time on wax too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Same thing. But shoot, it was our first time. It was everybody's first time. So, we had nothing to fear, man. Young kids, you couldn't tell us nothing. We were just going to do it. No. If it don't work, it don't work. We just do another record. That's how we kind of felt about it.
Man, and look at you now. See, that's the thing. You go in the booth, you never know, like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't go in there thinking, okay, we're gonna make a hit or whatever. Just let it be.
I say it all the time, man. I don't do hit records, man. I do today's records. So I don't believe in the hit. That's the public to make it like that. I wish I could tell people like, yeah, we went there, we scientifically made this record and we planned this out. No, man, we were just young, sometimes naive, and we was just going from our heart and just making real music. If we liked it, we hoped everybody else liked it. But we didn't care about no hits, and I still don't make music that way.
Yeah, dope. We got on live.
Savon's Legendary Podcast.
Watch out on the TV network on Roku.
Grind City. And you know this, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like right place, right time, out of nowhere.
To what you're saying.
Former tag team partner coming to save.
Tony Johnson, we saw him battle Edric earlier, but this is a 2-on-1 mugging.